it's like clockwork at this point. The minute that any series becomes popular and people are looking forward to it, you got to find one of the creators or somebody involved in it coming out and deciding to shoot themselves in the foot with their woke handgun. That's how they were to put it. They just don't seem to understand it. Now, in the case of Invincible, I did read the comic some years ago. I thought it was really interesting. At first, it was, was thing, but then towards kind of like the middle part of it, I started to get really kind of, not digging it anymore. I find I started to move kind of stupid, to be honest with you. And then towards the end, I did check out what was going on with the end, so I saw how it ended. Then I was like, okay, fine. But again, as I say, started off really good. I had some issues with it in the middle, but once again, that's what it was. However, the first season of Invincible came out. People was really good. People enjoyed it. Yes, we all collectively hated Amber. That's just a given at this point. But now with the second season on its way, it should be out in November. We're getting more controversy as the woke crap starts. Getting to this article here from Bounding into Comics. Invincible co-creator Robert Kirkman stands by race swapping in Amazon's animated adaptation. We have to recognize that a couple of dumb white guys made this comic book in the early 2000s. So yeah, and of course that means Amber front and center. Yeah. Oh Lord. According to series co-creator Robert Kirkman, the decision to race swap a number of core characters in Amazon's animated adaptation of Invincible was born out of his personal belief that he and artist Ryan Otley failed to make the original comic sufficiently diverse, particularly by modern standards. I'm trying to understand what is sufficiently diverse. You need a diverse cast of everybody. This one want to be black, I want to be white, whatever. Okay, nothing wrong with it. But if your story doesn't call for that, your story is not made that way, why go out and change it when you could just introduce new characters? Why go out and change who's supposed to be there? But again, that's what keeps happening. As can be confirmed by audiences who engaged with both iterations of the hero's story. A total of 3 members of Invincible's cast were subjected to Hollywood's favorite method of virtue signaling. First and most apparently was Amber Bennett, the first love interest of the series' eponymous protagonist, making her proper debut in the Image series' 8th issue. Amber was originally depicted as a blonde white woman. Yes, so this is Amber here. This is how she originally looked, right? Up close, more version of her here. Okay. However, in the animated series, Amber's appearance was instead inverted, with the character now sporting raven hair and black skin. Okay. Now, like I've said before, I did have a problem with the way Amber was raised up in it. And I don't get me wrong. I'm a stickler for the whole, if you're creating a certain race, you should be that race without changing it. But the reason why I didn't have so much of a problem with it is that I kind of liked her design. I thought that, the design that they did for her was actually really cool. And I thought, okay, no problem with that. Okay. Then she opened her mouth and everybody hated her. And they will explain why in this article. Let me continue. Not only that, but in a move completely counter to their supposed intention of endearing this more diverse version of the character to audiences, the animated Amber was given a whole new personality. Here's why. Listen carefully. Rather than the Amber who thought always fearful for his safety, was always understanding of her one-time boyfriend's superhero lifestyle. Right. This Amber was actually worried about Mark. She actually understood when he revealed himself as Invincible. She cared about him. That was her personality, and it was good. Had they actually done that in the series, people might not have hated her. But no, that's not what they did, right? Amazon presented audiences with a version of the character who took outright offense to the fact that Invincible did not reveal his secret to her after just a few weeks of dating. Right? There was no way else to explain this other than the fact that everybody just hated this bitch. That was the only way to put it. Everybody hated her. She had no reason to be upset with Mark. She knew he was invincible. Yet she berated him for all sorts of things. Her personality was garbage. That's what everybody, like, I don't know, for some reason, Amazon thought this made her relatable or understanding or something. It didn't. She was the one thing most people hated the most about Invincible's entire first season. Yes, there were little bits and pieces here and there that people didn't like, but she was literally number one. That was it. And though not as a parent, thanks to the somewhat racially ambiguous nature of their depiction in Otley's original artwork, both series protagonists Mark Grayson and his mother Debbie also had their identities altered in the leap to the small screen, where their comic book selves were both white, half white and half Viltrumite in Mark's case. You see, I knew that channel. I said that before. I said, you know what? Maybe the way they're drawn kind of ambiguous. I keep saying I find that they both looked white in the comics, but when you get here now, they've clearly been raised. Okay, again, the animated incarnations have been explicitly confirmed as being of Korean descent. Yeah, because again, as I say, they just want to keep pushing this card rather than making new characters. No, let's just do this. Ay. Speaking to TV Guide ahead of the Amazon series' upcoming second season, Kirkman revealed that despite the backlash these changes had received, much of it born from fans' disappointment that the series' first foray into a new medium would be less than accurate to the characters and stories they had loved for nearly 2 decades. They believe the result was a net positive for the representation. Of course, the representation, because why? The message is important. Asked by the outlets Cat Moon how much this concept of representation was on your mind when you were working on season 2, Kirkman asserted there's something that's been really important to us. We have to recognize that a couple of dumb white guys made this comic book in the early 2000s. And there was a real lack of diversity in that series. And also with the Invincible character himself. We talked to fans at all the conventions and places we would go, and because his ethnicity was ambiguous in the comics, everyone identified with him. We could have Filipino fans call up and say, I'm excited that you made Max Filipino. We could have Mexican fans come up and say we're so excited that you made Mark Mexican. And it was just amazing to see how important representation is on a personal level when you're face to face with a person. He continued. I really doubt that. Should I really know people coming up like that? Anyway, because I grew up at a time where I went to see Rambo and Die Hard and Terminator and every movie that came out when I was a child, and I watched a bunch of tough white guys do cool stuff, and it was like, this is a lot of fun. And you end up being in this bubble where you have no awareness of what it's like to live in a world where you're not seeing yourself reflected on all of these other things. You see, again, you're seeing yourself reflected. If you want to make something original. But when you created something in a certain way, don't change it now because Twitter tells you to. What the hell? So to be able to, in any small part, work against that is a tremendous honor, the writer concluded. Right, as of writing, it is unknown whether or not Invincible's second season will feature any further race swaps to the series cast. The answer to this question will make itself known when the new season hits Amazon Prime on November 3rd. All right. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's one thing to say that, you want to do this to reflect and so people could see themselves. That's mostly a bunch of crap. The majority of these companies, the majority of these entire things with them, these companies insist that you must do certain things to change certain characters. Amber got race swapped because they had to do that. Mark and his mother are now pretty much officially Korean because they had to do that. That's what they're doing. Now, there are certain comic book creators who have work that has gotten to the point of literally being adapted into an animated series or something. And then these TV executives and these Hollywood big wigs or whatever came to them and told them, listen, we need you to listen. We're going to race swap, gender swap, sexuality swap, all these characters. And these creators have said, no, that is not the way I created these characters. I'm not doing that. And they had their projects completely shelved. It has happened because these people believe in what they created. They said, listen, this was created in a certain way. These characters were made in a certain image, a certain this. That's what I want reflected when people see this work on the big or small screen. But because these companies have gone so far down the woke rabbit hole, they don't want to hear that. And if you don't follow suit, they cancel what you're doing. And instead, we get lunatics like Amber that has literally become universally hated. And we get TV shows and movies where you keep race swapping, gender swapping, and sexuality swapping characters, and nobody likes it. And rather than you take something and say, okay, they don't like it, let's actually listen to what the fans have to say and do something right. No, screw that. You want to do your own damn thing. You blame the fans for not liking it, and then you go out to make more crap. So yeah, that's what happening as season 2 of Invincible draws closer. There are the creators are basically telling people, dumb white guys made this, so we are going to fix this now. Yeah, that's not going to blow up in your face at all. Your thoughts on this in the comments. You have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, you should hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell if I ever put out a new video. And I shall see you next time. Take care.